Ready to head out to Cedar City, Utah for our second rock crawling competition of the year.
I'm most excited to go to Cedar City WEROCK. I really like just going out there, running the courses. It's really more of a fun thing than a competitive thing for me.
I'm looking forward to going to WEROCK the most because I want to watch Ems and I really want to see her go again. And it's just fun being in the camper, skipping school, and going out rock crawling.
Now, our first rock crawling competition of the year, we went down to Baghdad, Arizona. And unfortunately, we had a couple breakdowns, which really put a damper on our weekend. And so how rock crawling works is you want to end up with as low a score as possible. When you don't finish a course, you get a whole lot of added points. Those breakdowns really hurt us for the weekend. I think we still ended up in like 5th place, which isn't too bad considering all the things that happened, but we definitely could have done a lot better. When it comes down to it, I really don't care what place that we get. As long as we go there and try as hard as we can, the place that we get isn't as important to me. It's just doing as good a job as we can do. If people just flat out outdrive us, you know, that's awesome.
I prefer to just go out there and have fun.
To have something like a breakdown of some sort happen that was completely, I don't know if it was preventable because it was a hard thing to find and it was very random, electrical issue, but to have something like that happen really kind of hurts. It's like, man, that's a tough one. And one of the worst parts was it would happen right at the end of the course. So right before Emily finished the course on the last gate, it would stop right there. You know, they had a loose electrical connection and the buggy would just shut down. And at one point she's sitting in the driver's seat, shaking it back and forth, saying, "Dad, can you just push me across the finish line?" And that was pretty tough because I couldn't. She was stuck against a rock and I couldn't move the buggy, and it was just, yeah, that was a really tough one. So our goal is to go back there, make sure to double check everything over and just do as good a job as we can do. What place we end up isn't that big a deal to me. It's just that we go there and do the best job that we can do.
When the car broke down last time, I was actually for some reason feeling really positive. I felt like we could still finish the courses even though it was, since the car kept shutting down, technically almost impossible unless you pushed the car through. And but I felt really positive about it and that we could still do good with the problem. And we actually did pretty good for a break in dealing with all those issues. A personal goal of mine for this WEROCK is to plan ahead. So like right before cones, I don't want to just like all of a sudden turn. Maybe I'll try to use rear steer less if I think ahead and do wider turns instead of super sharp ones with the rear steer, which will take a few points off of the car.
All right, Friday morning, time to hit the road. Get heading to Cedar City.
I've been on the road.
Let's roll.
I said the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in stone. Write my name in stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Right back where I left because I know my people needed me.
What do you think, Em? Rock throwing in the rain?
It'll be a little bit harder.
We'll make it work, right? What do you think, Maddie?
Yeah.
All right, we made it to Cedar City. We fought the wind and the rain the entire drive here. We are out walking the courses right now, and as you can see, it's wet, but this rock seems like it has really good traction. That's one thing, everywhere you go, the rock is just a little bit different, but this rock feels like it has good traction. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go do a little pre-running. You can't pre-run the course, but drive around the local rock because it's been raining since we got here. Would have been nice to get just to see what the traction's like and stuff on the rock, because that gives you an idea what kind of lines you want to take. But Emily and Lydia down there taking a look at different options, but it still continues to rain.
Kind of stay wide so I go up this nice and straight. And then I'm going to try to keep my tire up close to that orange cone, my driver tire. So
Well, what are you two thinking about this bonus line right here?
I mean, it looks a little scary.
Gotta set that cone back. So what we'd have to do is stay high on this, drop down here, and you got a V-wedge. I don't think it looks that bad. But the trick is keeping the tires up like this and just riding it down. Well, it is Saturday morning and we're getting ready to get out there, head to the driver's meeting, try and get this competition underway. Unfortunately, it continued to rain all night long. Just a steady drizzle. Every time I woke up, I could hear it still raining. So things have not dried up much. So it'll be interesting to see if we end up with mud stuck to the rocks or if it's just sand that falls off. But either way, water typically affects your traction. So that's all we can do is just go out there and give it our best. This undercut right here is one that I was kind of concerned about. We'll see how this works out. Just gonna try this without rear steer. That's the goal. All right, so he got through the first bonus, touched a cone. We're deciding if we want to try and use rear steer or go drag axle, but right here, this bonus right here could be a challenge too. You gotta stay up real high. There's a big undercut. There's a big wedge right, let's see, right there. So you gotta stay up real high and then drop down. But man, the rocks are slick. He's spinning. Driver. One thing you have to watch out for is the banner warning as well. You can't get into the banner, so you can get close to it, but if you get 2 tires through it, you're disqualified.
So he just went through this and he didn't use rear steer and he hit 2 cones. So if you hit 2 cones, that's 20 points, right? But if you use rear steer, that's only 10, and it makes you faster. So do you think you should try rear steer or not?
Rear steer.
Yeah, it's way you get a better score. Even though you get docked for the rear steer, then you save yourself all those cones, right?
Yep.
I think you got it.
Ready in case lightning. So right there, they're taking a reverse. The car slid off the line because I think she'd have more push.
You ready for this?
Yeah, that bonus over there looks really difficult.
I think you can do it.
I started to stack some rocks for Emily. Stacking rocks in this hole is going to make it easier for that tire to make that big undercut ledge. As we get the front tire up and over the top, we have to be careful not to get our axle housing or differential stuck on the point of that rock. It's a fine balance. So right here, as we start to try to get that back to climb, we have to just keep working it, but not slide into one of the cones. Now as the back starts to climb, we can keep moving forward.
Okay, stop. Rear passenger. Rear passenger.
Our buggy is more of a trail buggy, so it's a little bit wider than what somebody would make for a dedicated competition buggy. So that means we have to be extra careful going through these cones because we're a little bit wide.
All right, start. There. Your front's going to start dropping here.
As we make our way to the third set of cones,
we end up trying out the bonus line. So this particular spot is tricky because it's a fine line, especially when things are this slick on how high you have to stay up on the driver's side. We end up staying a little too high on that driver's side, and the passenger side starts to fall into that crack.
I wonder if you can back up.
At this point, I know we made a mistake and let that tire fall into the hole. And I asked Emily maybe we'll try to back up, but it didn't seem like it was going to do anything. So I told her, you're just going to have to ride this one out. I know it's not going to feel good, but we're just going to have to try to ride it out. At this point, the car felt nearly sideways, and Emily was like, Dad, I don't like it. I don't like it. I just had to tell her, trust me, you'll be able to drive out of this. Once that front passenger tire starts to climb, the car starts to settle back down and she's able to start driving out of this.
You're climbing now. See that? Hey, rear passenger. See if you can do rear passenger. Good. Okay, that's really good. Just follow that. Okay, straighten the front. Yeah. Rear driver. Rear driver. There you go. Now follow that. Just like that. I gotta watch that rear. Hey, you're okay. I'm watching. You're good. And rear drive passenger. Yeah. So you don't drop.
As she begins dropping off that ledge, we know that all we gotta do is get back through one easy set of cones and make our way back to the finish line.
There you go. One back up.
Good job, Ems. You did awesome.
Was it really scary making that one tip?
Yeah, we got a little tippy on that back.
Are you happy with what you got?
Yeah.
Me too. Awesome.
So we got through this first course. We got through just with the reverse penalty. Got through both the bonuses. Things are getting wet. It's getting slick out there. You can see the mud and rubber marks caked on everything, and it's just gonna get slicker throughout the day. There's a drizzle in the air, so our plan is just to keep using rear steer, just keep trying to work through stuff. And we watch as Jeremy Winters and Alyssa Winters start taking on this next course that we're gonna be taking on. When we have time in between the courses, it's always good to go see how the other cars are approaching these obstacles. We can see here just how slick everything is. We're gonna have to use a little bit of skinny pedal to get over this spot. And the bonus line on the left, I don't even think is doable.
It was a struggle. I got you. Good job. Yeah. What happened to that super steady? Good job. You finished it.
This course has been tricky. It's really slick out there. So the first bonus doesn't really look doable. It's all mudded up and caked up. The second, just the first set of gates alone are hard enough. Almost everyone's taking a cone out just to get through that. Then this one's gonna be tricky. This might be the trickiest one all day. I don't know, we'll see. How does this make you feel about this course?
I'm not that scared. It's not that bad. What's that red fluid down there?
Yeah, it looks like transmission fluid.
Oh, they're leaking fuel and transmission. Does that mean you have a transmission leak or just it?
Yeah, because it comes out of the vent. So everything has a vent. So when you tip over, that's when you lose a lot of those fluids.
Good job. Come in this way, okay?
Now we're up to take on our second course of the day. So what I do is just make sure that she's gonna get through the gate without hitting any cones. If you hit one of those gate cones, you're gonna get penalized. We first tried to crawl this one, but we realized we're going to have to hit it with a little bit of momentum. We end up taking out a cone in the course of that.
Yeah, keep saying passenger. Let me check the other side. Okay. You're a little high center, so work the steering. Watch your side. There you go.
The best way you can run a course like this is not using rear steer and hitting all the bonus gates. That's how you would end up with the lowest score possible. However, you have to be careful because some of the bonus gates can trip you up and you can burn a ton of time on it. In this particular course, we decided just to get through it because the bonus gates seemed a little bit too challenging in the mud this particular day. So we just wanted to finish the course in a good amount of time.
Hey, good job, Ems. That was a tough one, huh?
Yeah.
You did great, huh?
Yeah, some of the turning without rear steer. There were some times where I started to guide the rear steer stick and I was like, nope.
Yeah, you did good. That was tough.
Addie.
Hi, Dad.
You got this, okay?
Okay.
Are you worried?
No.
No?
I don't think that one will be that much of a problem. I will have to keep my momentum though.
Yeah. Keep some momentum. How about that drop?
I'm a little bit scared, but I'm pretty positive that I'll do fine on it.
I think so too. You're gonna do awesome. Just listen to Dad, huh?
Yeah.
As we move on to our third course of the day, this particular spot was really wet and slick. It had a big slick rock wall and everybody was having a throttle to get up it. The tricky spot of this one was getting progression. That means we have to get 3 tires past where those cones are.
You already hit the cone. Where's your rear steer? Rear driver.
The judges have to verify whether we got progression or not. And what that means is after we take out the cone, there's dots painted on the slick rock. And they have to make sure that our third tire goes over top of those dots to get progression on this spot. And on days like this, when everything's really slick and wet, just getting progression on a gate can be really challenging.
All right. Now front passenger. We're gonna watch the cone. Rear driver. There. Yeah. Now like that. You're okay.
As we get through the second set of cones, we head up to the third set of cones. The third set of cones was hard just to line up for it to hit the bonus. We knew we needed to hit the bonus to try to end up with the lowest score possible. This particular spot was really intimidating. This was a really big drop that we knew our belly was going to need to slide off. And this spot was really intimidating for Emily. As the
car slides over the edge, she's able to keep it in control and not take out any cones. As we head to the fourth gate, this spot was really tricky because we went through a big mud puddle and had to make sure not to slide in any cones. Traction was a serious issue this day.
You did awesome going down that drop. That was awesome. Was you scared?
Yeah.
But you did use the gas, right? And it settled it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were awesome. You were hitting, remember that big drop that in course 3 that we just did?
Yeah.
What were you saying in the mic when you were approaching it and going down?
I was like, Dad, I don't like this.
How many times did you say that?
Only once.
Once? How
Yeah.
come you didn't like it?
Because it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel natural. The way that it was pointing down like that. I felt like when I was going to hit the ground, my back was just going to go wee.
And what happened?
I gave it gas, so it didn't do that. Because last time I dropped Death Row, what happened was it went wee.
Yeah? Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Would you do that drop again?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do anything different? Same thing.
Same thing.
If you did it next time, what would you say in the microphone?
Let's do this.
Yeah, trying to get up that last course, Ems was working it just back and forth, the rear steering one way. I was just yelling different directions, and she was like, Ems.
And I was getting my directions a little mixed up.
There's a couple times I was like, no, passenger, because you started sliding this way, and then so once you went passenger, front passenger, rear driver, and then we bumped you up over that. That's what we had to do. So it's kind of weird when you're bumping over while you're rear steered.
What about on gate 2? How close were you to that passenger cone in the rear?
I'm really not sure.
How close was she to that cone?
Very. Oh my gosh, Ems, when I told you to rear, it slid sideways towards the cone. That's why I was like, stop. You know, because
You were
I told
like
you
this far.
like it slid it.
And
like,
every time you turn the rear steer, you go like, oh,
and then it just kept sliding more, and I was like, oh no, what did I do?
Final course of the day.
Yeah, I think this one might be the easiest out of all of them.
Sometimes those easy ones catch up on you.
We'll see.
You'll see? You got this.
I know I do.
Okay, watch your time, okay?
Okay.
So we are running in the Sportsman A class. In the Sportsman A class, I believe there was as many as 16 cars in it. The class was huge. We had some really tough competition. As we start on the final course of the day, we start with a bonus right off the bat. And this bonus really leans you uncomfortably to the passenger side. We really had to keep the driver's side high up on that wall to avoid sliding down into that lower cone. It's spots like this that can really test your vehicle and test your willingness to see how uncomfortable you can get. Emily does a great job right here, staying calm and trusting me.
You're good. You can see it. Now, what we gotta do, you gotta start staying front driver. Front driver. You want to keep that back from pulling into that cone. Keep more rear driver. Rear driver. Yeah, like that.
Are we good?
No. Keep more rear driver. Rear driver. Yeah, like that. No. Try to wiggle it rear passenger. Rear passenger. Yeah. Just like that. Okay, you're gonna miss it. Your back tire's up in the air. Front. Yeah. Right there. You're so close. More rear passenger. Yeah, more. Now front passenger. I think you're about there. This one? All right.
We end up clearing through the first bonus gate. Now this next section had a whole bunch of gates all close together, and we start off with the other bonus. This particular spot we just had to stay up high because gravity wants to pull you down into that lower cone, and things are really slick. But what we have to do is really be strategic on how we weave through these cones.
because what you want to do is use more space than you need. As we go through the third set of gates, we end up taking out the cone because this one, everyone was getting their belly hung up on. So we knew we needed to bump over it a little bit. Unfortunately, that required taking out a cone. As we go through the fourth set of cones, we're just about to make our way to the finish line.
Yep, like that. Okay, now stop. Let me look at the other side. Going here. And then you just got this in here. Okay, now straighten it up. Alright, good job. Well done.
Oh yeah, I knew that one was gonna goof us up. It just slid us.
You did awesome.
Here, stop right there.
That was a really good run.
Yeah.
A really good way to finish today.
Yeah,
You did
finish
awesome.
strong.
I know, you did awesome. Good job.
All right, day 2 from Cedar City. WEROCK, round 2 of the Western Series. The sun is out today. This mud is starting to dry up a little bit, so hopefully today will go a lot better. I mean, we did good yesterday. We just ran the way we like to do, and we used rear steer and all that. And we take some penalty points for using rear steer, but it gets us through the courses faster and more efficiently. So hopefully we're sitting in 4th place right now, only behind by 2 points of 3rd place, and only ahead by like 8 points of like 4th place. So we're right in there. One cone can change the whole thing. So we just gotta stay consistent and do the best we can do.
You got a game plan for this one?
Yeah. We're gonna do that bonus over there. Dad's gonna run ahead and stack some rocks while I'm gonna do some other stuff.
Okay, cool. You got this.
Yeah.
Good job.
Day 2, we were sitting in a really good place. We were sitting in 4th place out of like 16 cars. So we were feeling really confident. As we start our first course of the day, we make our way through the first set of cones onto the second set. This second set was really tricky. We were having a really hard time keeping that passenger tire up on that rock. It was a very fine line. I ended up stacking some rocks on that passenger side to try and take up that undercut. But our car was just a little too wide and things were a little too slick to be able to stay on that line. After wasting too much time on this, I told Emily, let's just take out this cone. Who cares? Let's get through this gate. From my vantage point right here, I thought the tire had gone over the top of the cone. However, the judge noticed that the axle housing actually took out the cone. So as we keep her moving through here, once we get to the top, the judge tells us we did not get progression because the tire did not go over top of the cone, so we didn't get 3 tires past the set of cones.
You're gonna have to back up again.
No, the front tire went over it. The front tire crushed the cone. And the at tire and on tire.
If it goes over the dog, the front tire did, the axle ran it over.
We only have 10 minutes to finish a course, and at this point we've used up almost half our time. We just gotta keep moving, so I start to feel a little rushed. So I put her back on the main line. This spot was trickier than it looks as well. We ended up getting the belly stuck, and we're just trying to do whatever we can to work it through this. But at this point, we're really stuck. And she can't back up, she can't move forward, and we end up sliding all the way around just to get 3 tires through there. And at this point, we're literally out of time. So we just have to keep trying to push to get through here and finish yet 2 more sets of cones. Everything started to go wrong on this course. We ended up timing out on this course and only getting progression points. This was not how we wanted to start the day. As we start our second course of the day, we had to put that one behind us and just move on. And just remember that we're there to have fun and can't take this too seriously. So we start working our way through the first set of cones. This particular spot is a V-notch. We have to be careful not to slip off it because things are really muddy. The next spot had a bonus line on it, so we decided to take it, but we were taking it a little bit different than some of the other people. we tried to take it straight on, and I had to fill some rocks and logs down in that hole because it was going to lean us really hard. We ended up getting the front axle through there without hitting the cone, but getting the rear past the same spot was going to be really tricky because it wants to keep pulling you down into that cone.
Okay, keep going. Rear pass. Rear pass. There you go. Now that the cone's moving the train, it's a mark. So a little bit rear driver. Okay, right there.
This course was going pretty well overall. Next, we need to make our way over to the final gate. This one had a big bonus drop, but after that last one Emily did, this one was going to be no problem.
Okay, here we go. Ride it out. Down.
Good, Ems.
You
That
did
was
good.
super good. Especially that drop. That was really good.
And that really twisted us up in there. We got really twisted up on the.
Pretty
all right.
good, Ems.
We're getting back on track. We're getting back on
That's
track.
awesome. You did awesome.
When we have a little bit of downtime, it's fun to watch some of the other drivers take on some of these courses as well. Everybody has a little bit different take on how they're going to attack some of these different obstacles. So you can always get some ideas from watching other people go. This guy in the side-by-side was killing it. He was just full of confidence. I thought the courses at the Cedar City event were really fun and really challenging. This next course, our third course of the day, was gonna be no exception as well. This one had some really tricky parts. These off-camber sections can be tricky when it's dry. However, throw a little bit of mud on there and traction completely changes. So you really have to take your time and think about where you need to put your tires because gravity is always trying to pull you into the downhill cone.
Just keep following that. Keep going. More rear passenger, yeah. Like that.
Coming around this corner, we had to be really careful that the backside driver tire wasn't going to slide over into that downhill cone.
You're good on this side. Keep following that. Watch that cone. Are you past it? Okay. All right, Em. Now rear driver. Em's a little bit rear driver. Okay. Are you past? Can you see the cone over there? Yeah. Okay. I'm watching this cone.
As we get through the third set of cones, we have to be really careful and try and position ourselves for the next set. The bonus side was really far to the passenger, which meant we were going to have to try to crab walk the buggy all the way over to the passenger side, but we just didn't have the traction. The buggy kept sliding down the hill. Right here we got really close to taking out that lower cone, but luckily it stopped in time and we were able to walk the back over and avoid taking out a cone. However, we didn't make it over to the bonus gate.
Rear driver. Rear driver. Hey, you're past it. Now go to the yellow, through the yellow cone. Let me make sure that's clear. You're almost through. You're almost through. All right. Yeah, you're making it right here. There you go. Hey.
Good job, Ems. Way to go. You got a bonus. Good job. And you didn't hit a single cone.
Actually, I don't think I got a bonus, but
Oh, you didn't get the bonus? That was like the bonus, that hard corner over there. But you didn't hit a cone, so that was super awesome.
yeah.
Hey, Ems. Last course of the day. Have fun with it, okay?
Yeah, I think this one might be one of the funnest.
I think so too. Have fun with it, okay? Don't worry
Okay.
about your score. Just have a good time, okay?
I will.
Don't want to see him tip. Yes, good save.
Here we go.
This was our last course of the weekend. We wanted to finish strong. The second gate was tricky. it had that giant breakover that we hit the cone on the day before. On the second day you run the same courses, you just run them backwards. So we had to be careful. I had to throw some rocks up under the driver tire to be able to get us to pull over that spot and not hit a cone. For the third gate, we didn't take a very good approach. We should have lined up a little bit better. We ended up sliding down and taking out that lower cone, making our way towards the last gate, which was also another bonus gate. This spot was trickier than it looks because we were trying to stay as far passenger as we could. However, what you can't see right here is the front passenger is climbing a ledge. There's actually a ramp on that right passenger side. And so the rear passenger side isn't up far enough, and we start tipping and leaning down into that cone.
More rear driver, our passenger. Yeah, driver. You got the cone. You got the cone. Just right up. You're gonna have to turn downhill. Turn front driver. You're gonna have to turn. Work the wheels through the other way. Work the wheels through.
Hands on the wheel, go!
That was a close call. When things start happening like that, the best thing you can do is turn downhill and use a little bit of gas to try to flatten the car back out.
Wow, that was scary. I'm so glad you got on the gas.
What would have happened if I didn't?
You probably would have flipped it. Did you keep your hands on the wheel the whole time?
Yeah, I didn't even feel like taking my hands off, so.
Oh, that was scary. Okay, good job.
Thanks.
Mom's shaking.
So the second day started off rough. First course, first bonus obstacle. We slipped off the line as we're getting to the top. Then we couldn't get back on the right line again. We ended up slipping off and we didn't get, judge didn't think we got 3 tires past. So we had to back off. We didn't have progress. We had to back completely off and then try it again. Then we got hung up on our belly, couldn't get off the belly. And so that really kind of got us for the day. Just kind of set the tone for the day, but anyway, we fought through it and just tried to do the best we could do. Overall, we ended up with the 6th place finish out of 16 people. The class was huge and there was some really competitive rigs in there and some really good driving. So overall, we ended up having a great time and that's all that matters. After our day was over, we went to check out the pro class shootout. And it's always a blast to watch these guys push the limits.
Front end kind of walked up just a little bit there. Pulled the car out of full-wheel drive, went to just front-wheel drive only. Did a great job. It's cold, it's raining, Saturday morning. Everything was kind of trying to peek over the corner and see which direction those tires are pointing as they work their way down to the bottom. To the side. Upside down. Trying to get any kind of traction over here. Looks like they did catch the check-in gate place spots. A great job. Man, that was not the finish for the weekend that you wanted to have, but what a great weekend for you guys out here at Three Peaks. And what got you out here? How'd your weekend go to get to this point?